Morning, Fabian. Getting straight back to it with a focus on a big prize, potentially European qualification there for you at the end of these 9 games. That pretty much is perfect a way to get over those feelings from Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great opportunity for a comeback, and of course a setback, a disappointment doesn't feel great, and the feeling we had after Saturday wasn't great, but I always say that the feeling of a comeback is always greater, and therefore we have to work for it. And on Wednesday, so tomorrow, we have a big chance for that.
Questions after defeats like Saturday's are always, can you move on? But it's quite hard to do that when the prize was so big on Saturday. Instead, you've shown this season that you can turn disappointment into fuel, haven't you, before? Has it been the same over the last few days?
Yeah, I think life tests you always, not only in sport, also in private situation. And like I said, always it's about the reaction, it's about how you come back, it's about how you stand up. And we proved it this season so far that we are a team who can stick together, especially in times like this, especially after big loss we had. And that's what we have to prove again, because we don't have another option. It's about seeing the option we have. It's about seeing what big possibility we have, and therefore we have to give everything. We have to stick together. We have to show a reaction as a team, and that's what we're trying to go for it.
And will you have Georginio with you? What's the situation with him?
So both injuries, I can say they don't look great. So we have to add them on our injury list.
As in Adam Webster as well as Georginio?
Oh, yeah.
And long-term, rest of the season maybe?
It's possible.
Okay. I mean, that'd be a real shame for Georginio, because he's made such a big impact, hasn't he? Since arriving from Leeds, took a while to settle in, but he's become such a key part of your team, and also a big fan favourite as well.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing why I see more like an opportunity than a chance, because we always were able to replace the players who are injured, and now it's another chance for Gruda, another chance for Matt O'Reilly, another chance for Cash. Lewis is coming back, so I see it more as an opportunity. I will never complain about the injuries. Of course, Georgie, also Adam, they were in a great shape, but that's football. We have to deal with it. We have to deal with the injury this season, and therefore we are always a team who are able to replace the injured players, and now other players have the chance to step in, and that's where I'm really looking forward to it, that the players who have the possibility now and the chance to start the game or to replace the injured players, that they can show their potential, and therefore we try to help them, that they can get integrated as quick as possible.
Are you able to tell us what the injuries are for Georginio and Adam?
Yeah, Georginio has an ankle injury and Adam a muscle injury.
Thank you. And you mentioned about opportunities for others, and Matt O'Reilly potentially is one of those players. He's had a frustrating season, really, hasn't he, since moving from Celtic because of those injuries that he's had. What kind of shape is he in? And he must feel quite determined.
Yeah, he's in great shape. He had some great training sessions. He made a great impression, and therefore it's also a positive thing that all these players who didn't play so much this season, they have a big motivation, they have a big energy, and I think exactly these kind of characters with this full of energy inside of the body we need for the rest of the season. So I'm happy that he's there. I'm happy that Gruda's there, and I'm sure that there will be good replacements for Georgie.
Yeah, just the last one from me. 9 games left. We don't know what the lowest position is going to be yet in terms of those European qualification places. I guess you'll have a keen eye still on the FA Cup to see how that might change. Aston Villa is big tomorrow, isn't it? Because it's one of the few teams you've got left who are going for the same position. You've got home advantage too. Great form at home at the moment as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's a duel where we know that will be a big fight. We know what Aston Villa looks like, very mature team, very experienced team. They want to go to Europe. They're still in 3 competitions, going for a title. So I think they play a great season, and it's another chance for us, another opportunity. And we have to play very mature. We have to play with a big intensity. We have to play also in some moments like we can't play that soft, like we played in some moments against Nottingham. So we have to be more ruthless, and that's what we have to improve in comparison with the game before. And then I'm sure that we have a big chance tomorrow.
I know you don't like the stats, but Brighton have never won 4 home Premier League matches in a row. How important is it in the running with these home matches?
So I'm not a big fan, like I said, from stats, but if you say that, then it's a chance to change it, and that's what we try to go for this tomorrow. Of course, we are still in a good place. We are still in a good form. So although we lost the game, we still have to see that we played a clean sheet. We didn't lose this game. So I think we also should see the positive things from the Nottingham game. Not everything is bad after a loss in a penalty shootout. So see the positive things, and then we have to be consistent tomorrow. We have to be in every phase good, and then we can break the statistic, and that's what we try to do tomorrow.
When you played Aston Villa earlier in the season, they didn't have Marco Asensio or Marcus Rashford in their squad. How important do you think they have been for Unai Emery since they joined?
I think individual quality players like Asensio and Rashford, they can help every team in the world. So I'm sure they play a big impact. They changed a little bit their positioning with Rashford, so he's more likely to play as a winger. I think before they don't have this clear winger on the left side. Of course, they have Bailey on the right side. They have Marlon. So they have some new players. They changed a little bit their positioning, but it's the team we faced with a lot of individual quality, with a good style of play, with a great coach. So it will be a big challenge.
And in terms of Marcus Rashford specifically, he's shown that a change of scenery can really improve a player's form. How important do you think the manager is in changing a player like that?
Can play a role, but I think it can be also the environment, can be the teammates, can be the trust and the belief he feels from his teammates, of course also from the coach. So I think the coach can play a massive role, especially to get in the mind from the players, to understand the players. Some players function better in this place, some players function better in this place. So that's a thing we have to figure out. And at the moment, I think Rashford is in a good place here.
In terms of other results, tomorrow you could take Brighton into the top 4. Does that even surprise you just a little bit?
Why surprise me? Why should it surprise me?
In terms of the ambitions you had when you first arrived here.
No, we always said that we are a club. We don't want to hide behind our ambitions. We don't want to be seen as the small club, although we don't have maybe the financial budget like other teams. But I think you still can play a great season. You can still fight for Europe if you stick together as a team. If you have great togetherness in your club, if you have a good structure in the club, and Brighton has everything. So I always say we want to be a club that is known for their ambitions, and we have high expectations on ourselves. So that's why we should be also criticized that we're out of the FA Cup in the quarterfinals, because we wanted to reach the semi-final. That's our expectations. So I think we have to put also pressure on ourselves that we are going for reaching the top places in the table, and that's what we try to go for. And that's why I don't want to be surprised about the situation where we are at the moment, because if you work together, if you have great values in the club, if you have a good work ethic every day, then I think that you can achieve massive things, and that's what we try to go for the rest of the season.
Right at the start of the season as well, you referred to yourself as the friendly authority in your first news conference for the club. Do you think you still refer to yourself like that, and how do you think you've changed throughout the season?
I still see myself like this, so I don't think that I changed my approach, because I think you have to stay authentic, you have to stay your own, you have to know yourself the best way you can do, and of course you can change sometimes the approach, but in general your character, your values should always stay the same. So I try to be consistent, and if you recognize something else, then you can say it to me.
Fabian, Brian Gruda scored for the German under-21s a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about your words to him and the impact that you've had on him. What about his potential impact coming on for 45 minutes of the weekend? How excited are you about trying to see whether he can fulfil his potential?
I think that he made a great impression the last game against Nottingham. He had a big impact on our game. He was very fluent. He defended quite good. He was very active. He created chances for us. So I'm happy with his development so far. And like I said, now it's a chance for him. It's a chance to step into the spotlight, and I'm sure he's really looking forward to it.
Is it the physical side of the game that he probably has to step up to because of the intensity you always talk about in the Premier League, rather than the quality with the ball?
I would say yes. So that's what all the new players we have this season have to adapt with, is the intensity. They set it on their own that it's something different. They set it on their own that they have to adapt, and the same procedure is for Brian. So he's adapting, he's training hard, he's trying to keep improving every day, and therefore at one day some players are a little bit earlier ready, some players a little bit later ready, but I'm sure that he has a potential to help us, and hopefully we see it the rest of the season.
Aston Villa were one of your key rivals going for Europe. Unai Emery has said this is a key moment in their season. Do you feel the same for Brighton?
I think every game can be a key moment. Of course, we know that it's an important game, and we have a big chance to let them behind us and to create a distance to them, and that's what we try to go for. But my message always the same. It's game by game. It's really looking forward to the next game, and the next game is a big challenge against Aston Villa, and therefore we try to win it together with our fans. We try to make the comeback. We try to show reaction after the loss, and that's the biggest focus we have.
Chris mentioned the individual players that Aston Villa have, but is the fact that they are in 3 competitions at this stage probably tantamount to explaining why he is such a good manager, Unai Emery?
Yeah. So I think he's a great manager. He proved it for so many years now. Of course, he has a great squad, so we shouldn't underestimate the individual quality they had before, and now they add some great individual players. So they have a big individual quality. For me, top 4 in the league, and therefore we know what we will face. But I'm sure with the togetherness, with the spirit we have together with our fans, we can beat this individual quality, and therefore we try to go really together as a team. We go really strong with the spirit we have inside of us to face them.